Third unit of physics is magnetic effects of current and magnetism. This is the unit number 3, which has two chapters. First chapter is magnetic effect of current, second is magnetism. This is the second chapter of unit 3. This is the first chapter of unit 3. Now let's start it. First of all, we know when the charge is at rest, then it contribute to which field? Electric field. It contribute to electric field. But when charge is in motion and it constitutes some current, then this current create both electric field as well as magnetic field. In previous chapter we have learned about the current electricity in detail, where we had learned what are resistor, devices and various application of the current flowing through a device. Now in this chapter we will learn about the magnetic properties or magnetic effect due to current. So the current produce both electric field as well as magnetic field. So if magnetic field is there, then how we can find the magnetic field? Then question is how we can find the magnetic field. We know there are a number of ways to find electric field that we had discussed already in the previous chapter, but how we can calculate the magnetic field? To calculate the magnetic field, there are two laws. First is Biot-Savart law, and second is Ampere-Circuital law. So we can say here that for magnetic field, it is represented by symbol B. It's a vector quantity. So it has an arrow on its head like this. It's a vector quantity and it's represented by B. Its unit is Tesla. So this is magnetic field. It's a vector quantity. To find magnetic field, we have two laws. First is Biot-Savart law, and second one is Ampere-Circuital law. So let's start first with the Biot-Savart law. But before Biot-Savart law, there was an Oersted experiment. In that experiment, what Oersted said, it said that when electric current passes through a wire, magnetic field is formed around it. This is the Oersted experiment inferences. Now let's start with the Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law is used to calculate or find the magnitude of magnetic field due to current carrying wire. According to this law, if a wire is there and it's carrying a current I in this direction, and we choose a small current element of length dl, and this is the point P where we have to calculate the magnetic field. So the distance between the length current element and point is r, and this both are vector quantity where r is a position vector in this direction, current element is in this direction, so they have an angle of theta between them. So what the Biot-Savart law state? Biot-Savart law state that dB is directly proportional to current. More the current, more the field. dB is directly proportional to current element. More the length of current element, more is the current, more is the field. Is inversely proportional to the distance. More the distance, less the field, and is directly proportional to sine of theta, where theta is the angle between current element and position vector r. Ideal and r, angle between these two is theta here. So if we combine this all, we get what? We get dB is directly proportional to I dl sine theta by r square. So if we remove this proportionality sign, we get dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi this into I dl sine theta upon r square, where mu naught by 4 pi is proportionality constant. This is proportionality constant, and where this mu naught is called permeability. What's the meaning of permeability? If like a magnet, this is a system in which a magnet is placed, how much this medium allow the magnetic field lines to pass through it, and approach farther distance, that is called permeability of that space or a medium. Where permeability mu naught by 4 pi, it has a value of 10 raised to power minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. This is the value of mu naught by 4 pi. Now next is B. So if this is a magnet, we know that for magnet there is north pole and south pole. If this is a magnet, then it has some field around it. Magnetic field lines originate from north and ended south, but these are closed loop. Inside they move from south to north. Means outside the magnetic field, magnetic field lines are directed from north to south, but inside the magnet field lines are directed from south to north. So from outside it's north to south and inside it's south to north. So these are magnetic field lines are closed line. Where electric field lines, these are not the closed loop, these are open one. But magnetic field lines, these are the closed. Magnetic field lines are the closed loop. So to represent a magnetic field, we use magnetic field lines. And this magnetic field line always directed from north to south outside the magnet and south to north inside the magnet. Now next, so we get a Biot-Savart law of form. So the Biot-Savart law is B equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square. So if we want to represent this in a vector form, so we can write dB vector is equals to mu naught by 4 pi, where sine theta is angle between I dl and r vector. So if I multiply, this is a magnitude, we know that vector represented by what? Magnitude into direction with the cap. If this is a magnitude, then direction is r cap. So instead of r cap or a cap, we can also write a vector upon a. So instead of this r cap, we can also write r vector upon r. So we get dB is equals to, so here we get dB in vector form from Biot-Savart law is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl vector cross r vector upon r cube. So with the help of Biot-Savart law, we can find magnetic field due to small current element, and if we want to find out the magnetic field due to complete circuit, then we take integration. Now we will do the applications of Biot-Savart's law. Applications of Biot-Savart's law. Now first application, suppose we have a circular loop like this carrying current I. This is the center point. We have to find field at center. Field at means we have to find B at center O. Now this is the current flowing I. If we choose a small current element, let this be the current element. Let this be the current element, that is DL. And this is the position vector, R vector. Now angle between position vector and ideal is 90 degree. As we know, dB vector is equals to what? Mu naught, or we can say dB is equals to what? dB is equals to mu naught I dl sin theta by r square. This is the formula where theta, this time theta is 90 degree, and we know sin 90 is nothing but that is equals to 1. So by substituting the value, we get dB is equals to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl. Instead of sin 90, we can write 1 upon r square. This is the magnetic field due to small current element. If we want to find the total magnetic field, we will take integration. As we know, total integration will give total field B. Mu naught is a constant, 4 pi is a constant taking outside of integration. I is constant here, r square is also constant, this is not going to change. So we get integration of dl. Dl integration means circumference. We have to find circumference. So if we substitute the value of the circumference here, if we substitute the value of dl here, that is 2 pi r. That is 2 pi r. That will be, so we can get here B is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I upon r square. Instead of integration of dl, that is equals to 2 pi r. So this is 2 pi r. Pi get cancelled with pi. This is 2. This is 1. This is r get cancelled with r. This is mu naught I upon 2r. This is B is equals to mu naught I upon 2r. Mu naught I upon 2r. So B is equals to mu naught I upon 2r. This is magnetic field due to a circular loop at the center. Circular loop at center. This is the value of magnetic field of the circular due to current carrying circular loop at the center point. So we get a magnetic field like this. So from here we can see that B is inversely proportional to R. If B is inversely proportional to R, then for B versus R we get a decaying graph like this. Next, a question is there. A helium nucleus is completing one revolution or one round around a circle of radius r is this in 2 seconds. Show that the magnetic field at the center of circle is this, where I, we can know that I is equals to q by 2, q by t, where q is equals to total number of number into charge on each electron. Total number is 2. So in 2, that is give this value. This is the value of current. So by substituting in the formula of B is equals to mu naught upon 2 I r, we get this value. By solving this, we get B is equals to mu naught into 10 raised to power minus 19 Tesla. Next is magnetic field at the axis of a current carrying loop. In this case, we have a loop like this. A loop is there, which appear to be like this. This is a circular loop. This is perpendicular to this plane. Sorry. Here, this is a circular loop, which is a perpendicular to the plane. Let this is the center of the loop. and this is the axis passing through the center of the loop. Let this be the point P where we have to calculate the magnetic field. This is the point B where we have to calculate the magnetic field. This is the point P. Now let us consider a small current element. Say current is flowing in this direction I. Small current element dl. This small current element. Now due to this small current element, electric field is in, magnetic field is in this direction. This is B1, dB1. This is dB1, and let this distance be A, let distance be x. So this is r. R is equals to what? Under root of a square plus x square. Similarly, if we consider this current element, again here field is in this direction, dB2. Again this distance is a square plus x square. And now if we consider, first of all, this has two component, one along this direction, other along this direction. This is what, if we consider this angle to be theta, if we consider this angle to be theta, then this is also theta, this is also theta. So this is dB cos theta or dB sin theta, or we can say these angles are equal. These angles are equal. So these are not the angles, these are the equal. So this is dB sin theta, dB1 sin theta, and dB2 sin theta, and this is dB2 cos theta, and this is dB1 cos theta. So this is the diagram of this. So here we can see what, for this is the loop, angle is here 90 degree. By substituting the value and solving it, consider a circular loop carrying a current I flowing in anti-clockwise or say the clockwise direction. Whatever direction you take, you have to do according to that. Now according to Biot-Savart's law, we know that here radius is A, radius of the loop is A. So instead of R we have A here, instead of R we have A here. So we can say what here, this is the value. As we know, theta between this both is 90 degrees. So by substituting the value we get this value, where it has two components, and similarly we get magnitude of dB1 is equals to dB2. It means the component in upward and downward direction, equal and opposite, will cancel out. So net this component will result in the magnetic field, that is along sin theta. So net we have dB is equals to, or B is equals to integration of dB sin of theta. Now we have to calculate theta in this triangle. This angle was theta, this is 90 degree, so this is base, this is 90 degree, and this is hypotenuse, this is hypotenuse. So sorry, we can say in this triangle we get the value of sin theta is equals to, by substituting the value of sin theta we get R by A here, and also value the dB. And by solving this we again get dl inside, we get dl inside, that is from 0 to 2 pi. By substituting the value we get a result like this, that this is the result this time, where A is this. Now one thing, it has taken this as R, this as R, and this as A, as we have to take the distance. So A is the distance here, that's opposite to R concentration. If we would go for R concentration, then we have R square or R cube. So this is mu naught upon 4 pi I. Instead of A we can write this raised to power 3 by 2 into 2 pi R. So by solving it further we get square of this is the square here. We have some special cases. If x lie very far away from the loop center, then x is very large as compared to R, then in that case x square plus R square will be approximately equals to what? X square. So we get this thing over there. And there is two direction. First is if we say current is flowing in clockwise direction like this is the clockwise direction. If current is flowing in clockwise direction, then this, if we join these two, and this will give S means south, S means south. If we have current in anti-clockwise direction, means like this anti-clockwise direction, so when we join this we get north, so this is also, if the current is in clockwise direction, is in clockwise direction, or it is in anti-clockwise direction, according to that we have further and to be north or south respectively. Next is magnetic field due to long current carrying wire. Again we have a very long wire, this is the wire, this is the distance from point P where we have to calculate the field. This is a small current element. Now say this angle is phi 1, this angle is phi 2. Here by solving this we get dB is equals to this term. We have some special cases. If P lies in the middle of the wire and wire is infinite, in that case phi 1 and phi 2 both equals to 90 degree each. So in that case we get value of this 90, and instead of 90 it become 1 plus 1, that is 2. This will become 2, so 2 get cancelled with this, so we get this value. If P lies near to one end, because say this is the wire, if P lies here, then this phi 1 equals to what? 0, but phi 2 equals to what? 90 degree. So in that case we get this type of value, we get half of this above value. Above value was mu naught upon 2 pi IR. So in this case we get an value half of this. This is what? Mu naught upon 4 pi IR. Now there is a right hand thumb rule. If you revolve or if you curl your finger in the direction of current, then thumb will give you direction of magnetic field, which is always perpendicular to the direction, which is always perpendicular to the plane carrying current. Now question is there, you have to calculate the net magnetic field at point O, where this type structure is given to you. It's like this. So we can divide this structure into three parts like this, from here to here. This is part 1, this is like straight line. This is the part 2, semicircle. Let this be the part 3, from here to here, again a straight line. So we have 3 parts here. Now first of all, magnetic field due to the wire, we know that its formula is, this is the formula. So by solving this we get this result. Magnetic field due to semicircular ring, that is half of the formula. This is the value. So total magnetic field is nothing but sum of all. By doing this we get this. And to calculate the direction, you just have to curl your finger across. For right hand curl, it's in anti-clockwise, so magnetic field is in outward direction, because current is in anti-clockwise. You can say current is in anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise means like this. This is what? North. And we know field starts from north and go to south, so field is coming out of paper and moving again to the other end. So this is from north to south. Next is Ampere-Circuital law. Ampere-Circuital law. Now what's Ampere-Circuital law states? It states that Ampere-Circuital law states that magnetic field around a closed path, line integral of magnetic field around a closed path is equals to mu naught times the current threading across the circuit. Again I am explaining it to you. It states that Ampere-Circuital law states that line, that is dl, integral of magnetic field around a closed path is equals to mu naught times the current threading across the circuit. This is Ampere circuital law. A definition of or statement of Ampere circuital law. So this law states that line integral of magnetic field around a or along a closed circular path is equal to mu naught times the total current enclosed by the loop. So this is this one. This is Ampere circuital law. Now for its proof, we know that we have a wire. This is the distance of the wire. For this, field is in this direction and TL is also in this direction. So by substituting the value, we know that B for a wire is this. So if we draw a circular closed loop around this, B and DL both are in same direction, so angle between them is what? 0. If angle is 0, in that case we get cos of 0. Cos of 0 is nothing but that is 1. So we get integration of B DL only because angle is 1, that is B is constant. Taking it outside, inside DL is what? 2 pi r, that is 2 pi r. So substituting the value of B into 2 pi r, by solving it you get equals to mu naught I. So this is the proof of Ampere circuital law. This is the proof of Ampere circuital law. Next one is application of Ampere circuital law. First application: magnetic field due to a long straight current conductor using Ampere circuital law. One thing you have to use in case of if you want to use Ampere circuital law, then you have to consider a closed loop enclosing the surface. Closed loop you have to take. Suppose we have a solenoid like this. Suppose we have to consider the case of solenoid like this. Means if current is flowing in this direction solenoid, we have to take a loop, Ampere circuital loop. This is a loop. With the help of this loop, we are going to take its magnetic field. So to apply Ampere circuital loop, you always have to take a closed loop so that you can apply it. First of all, we are using it for a closed conductor. We know for a long straight conductor, we here say we have a wire like this. In this wire, current is flowing in this direction. To calculate magnetic field by using Ampere circuital law, first of all we have to take a closed loop around this. Let this be the center of wire. Let this be the distance. This be R. As we know, current is in outward direction, so magnetic field is in this direction. If you put your thumb along the current, then B is rolling inside the paper. And again we take a small current element, say DL. This is also in this direction. So angle between these two is 0. Theta is 0. So by applying Ampere circuital law, that is dB equals to B dot DL is equals to mu naught I. By applying this law, we have to calculate the value of this B, as angle between them is 0. So B DL, cos of 0 is what? 1. That is equals to mu naught I. So from here we get integration of B DL, cos 0 is 1, mu naught I. Taking B outside, inside we take DL equals to mu naught I. Here B is equals to mu naught I, where integration of this DL along a closed path, that is 2 pi r, that is equals to 2 pi r. Substituting the value here, that is 2 pi r. This is what? This is the expression for magnetic field for a long straight conductor. So next case we have to discuss. So we can see here that magnetic field due to a long straight conductor is B naught by 2 pi into IR. Next we have to take the case of a solenoid. Here this is the solenoid. Again we have to take a loop like this, and for loop, say this is the direction of DL. Now again I am going to discuss this with you in detail. Say solenoid, this is the solenoid. Say from here current is leaving and from here current is entering. Say we can represent this solenoid with the help of this type of chemical box. So if we take Ampere loop here, we know that if we take current is in B is in this direction. For here dl is in this direction, but for this dl is in this direction, for this dl is in this direction, and for this dl is in this direction. Means here B dot dl, this has 4 part. First is from A to B, second is from B to C, third is from C to D, and fourth is from D to A. A to B plus B to C plus C to D plus D to A. For D to B, angle between B and DL is 90 degree, and we know cos 90 is 0. Similarly here also angle between this is 90. So here and this both contribute 0 field. This both contribute 0 field. And here we can see this is outside of the current. So here no current is there or no field is there. This is also contributing 0. So we left with only 1. So this give B, and integration of this dl, say that it will be a length L. And here we know there are n turns, so multiply it with n, say n turns, total n turns are there, and we know this formula is equals to, according to Ampere's circular, is mu naught I. So taking L on that side, we get B is equals to n upon L mu naught I, where this is what? Number of turns per unit length, we can write it as small n mu naught I. So this is the formula of magnetic field for a solenoid. In case of toroid, we also get the same result like this. Say we have a toroid. Toroid is what? If solenoid get closed from the, by getting attached the two ends like this, then it will become a toroid. So in the case of toroid, we use 3 loops, like first loop inside, second loop cross this, and third outside. For the inside and outside, magnetic field contribution 0 because there is no current for this loop. Only this loop has some current. So for this, we have again B dl mu naught I. We know if this is loop is traversing in this direction, B is in this direction, dl is also in the same direction. So we get B dl, integration of dl mu naught I. It's again having n turns. So its length is say L again. So taking n number of turns n mu naught I. So we get P equals to mu naught upon L n I. So this n by L is again what? Small n. So we get n is B is equals to n mu naught I. This is again the expression for the toroid, which is same as a solenoid. So this is the expression for solenoid. This is the expression for solenoid, and we know inside the solenoid field is maximum, but at the end it's become half. Inside the solenoid or toroid, field is maximum, but at the ends it's become half. Same is for toroid, but before that we will do an numerical of this. Suppose we have length is equals to this, total number of turns be this, we know n by L equals to small n. So if we have to calculate B formula is mu naught n into I, where mu naught by 4 pi is equals to what? 10 raised to power minus 7. So from here we can say mu naught equals to 10 raised to power minus 7 into 4 pi. So we get 4 pi into 10 raised to power minus 7 n by L into I is 6 ampere. By solving this, we will get the value of P. Next is magnetic field due to toroid. As we had already discussed, magnetic field due to toroid is again going to be B is equals to mu naught n I. B is equals to mu naught n I. Now next is a numerical is there, that is, consider an Amperian cylindrical surface of radius r where r is greater than a. This is a wire. Say this is a cylindrical wire of radius a. We have chosen Amperian sphere of radius smaller, where smaller is greater than a. So in this case, what we have, according to Biot-Savart's law, this is the Biot-Savart's law. If we draw B dl, we calculate the value of dl, that is 2 pi r. So from here we get B is equals to mu naught by 2 pi into IR. So from here we get P is inversely proportional to R for point outside the wire. Now if R is less than A means R is smaller than A. In that case we have current is also passing through very less area, that is pi A square. So in this case current passing through per unit area is this and total current is this multiplied with the area. Now according to the Ampere circular law, by putting the value of new current here and magnetic field and solving the same, we get an expression of this. So from here we can see that B is directly proportional to R. So inside we have a field directly which is increasing and outside it's inverse, so it's decreasing like this. Next, a solenoid is 2 meter long and 3 centimeter in diameter, has 5 layers of binding of 1000 turn, each carry current of 5 ampere. What is the magnetic field at the center? Again, by using N equals to capital N by L, we get number of turns. By using this formula, B is equals to mu naught Ni. We know the mu naught, the value is 4 into 10 raised to 4 pi into 10 raised to power minus 7 into N is 2500, and current by substituting the value, and here they have put the value of pi, that is 22 by 7. And by solving this complete, we get a magnetic field of 1.57 into 10 raised to power minus 2 Tesla.